would end.
True.
All right, everybody, and welcome to the PWZ podcast. This is Rick Del Santo, and joining me, as always, Showtime Marcel Williams. This is night 2 of WrestleMania post show. Marcel, how's it going?
It's going. We are 2 days in a row. We breaking records here.
Did we do 4 times this week? That's amazing.
We did 4 times this week. A lot of work was being done, so a lot of time was being made up. This has been an eventful weekend of wrestling. A lot of news throughout the whole weekend. We'll probably get to that later on in the week, but tonight was WrestleMania night 2. We talked earlier as well, night 2 wasn't too exciting as night 1, and with the finish that came out to be, which we explain later on, it wasn't clicking. I mean, even the AJ and Edge match wasn't clicking that good either. I don't know. It's night 2. It was like that last year too. Like I mentioned, it's last year. Night 1 was way better than night 2, and they gonna do it next year, which I'm real disappointed. But I'm trying to make some type of game plan to make it to California 2 days in a row for next year in LA.
You're going to spend 2 days in California for WrestleMania.
2 days.
I mean, why the hell not? You also got NXT, and God knows what else is going to be happening there that year. If you guys, I see a couple people have joined in. Say hello if you're in the chat. So yeah, I don't know, man. It was just go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
It just seemed like there was something missing for tonight. I mean, it was like really lackadaisical compared to to last night. It was like turning on Monday Night Raw during the regular time of the year in a way. Like it was pretty lame. Adonis is here. Hello, Adonis. You finally got your shout out again. And Guardian of Chaos, how's it going?
2 days in a row, 2 shout outs.
All right, so Guardian of Chaos says night 1 was solid 7, night 2 was a 6. Pending shrinkage. Oh yeah. And yeah, man, I there was some moments I missed the first hour, so Marcel's going to get into that as I go on and read the results here. I do have the results, but I missed it, and then we'll discuss more as the stuff I actually did see. So the show started off with RK Bro defending the titles against Street Profits and Alpha Academy successfully.
Yeah, well, before we get to that, we're gonna talk about the intro with Mark Wahlberg again, doing the he's doing a little cameo. It just Mark Wahlberg put his work in for the 2 nights of the intro, and we're going to segue to The Town, the podcast I listen to with Nick Khan. And I like the way we seeing WWE being expanded out into the showbiz of bringing people in that's not ashamed to be part of wrestling business. So I like the way they do these intros where you have these celebrities, have these people that, give us the interlude into the show as a start on. What's your opinion on that, Rick?
I mean, if they're wrestling fans, you know what I mean? These people have got to be wrestling fans in a way. I mean, most of these guys are. I think Mark Wahlberg is a known wrestling fan, correct? He's been at WrestleMania several times. I mean, why not just show your love for wrestling?
Absolutely.
I don't really see
people
much.
Not ashamed, People not ashamed.
Right.
People are proud to be a wrestling fan now.
Right. Exactly. I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, and it's a good way to get crossover appeal.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And we kicked off with a surprise. We got TN Couponer popping on in. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, TN Couponer?
We started off with a surprise Triple H cameo coming out doing the water gig, and it's ain't no WrestleMania without that. But he did the most important thing before he kicked off the biggest show of the year with leaving his boots in the ring for his farewell, which we talked about earlier in the week with his in-ring retirement from his cardiac event a few months ago.
Right, and he left his boots in the ring And yeah, nice tribute. Nice. Yep. I did read about that, and I totally forgot to write it down as I was.
I told you I got you, Rick.
I know. I'm bad at this stuff, sometimes.
But we are going to talk about the first match, though. But before we get to that, what are your opinions on Triple H in-ring career and him leaving his boots in the ring?
I think Triple H was a tremendous worker. He really was. Mike Kanata, hello, Mr. Trivia, is in the house. I think that Triple H was definitely he was an A gamer. The guy was he gets a lot of flack because he married into the family, but that guy put on tremendous matches. And I think we discussed this before a couple of weeks back that, or maybe when he announced his retirement, it had to be about 2 weeks ago, that he put on tremendous matches with just about anybody, no matter who it was.
Yeah,
he got a lot of flack because married him. Right.
He was a great supporting player with the main players. Would be Austin The Rock, whoever he was in the ring with, he was a great supporting player. And it's just unfortunate. We could have had some more matches. Now Cody just popped on in. We could have had Cody versus Triple H. We could have had AJ Styles versus Triple H, something like that. But it's unfortunate. And he did the right decision. He got 3 little girls that was in the front row when he came in. And, hugged and kissed, and that's who he lived for. And that was a smart decision on his part.
TN Couponer says his favorite Triple H match is against Austin, 2 out of 3 falls, No Way Out 2001. Went about 45 minutes. Yes, I remember that match. Very good. Very good match. Yep. So the opening match was a 3-way tag team titles. RK Bro defended against Street Profits and Alpha Academy successfully. This did not go the way that I anticipated. I don't know. I might have been the only one that was rooting for Alpha Academy.
Nah, I rooted for Alpha Academy too. Chad Gable, he continues to impress me. He was already impressive before, even they gave him that Shorty G gimmick. But
right.
Alpha Academy is still a real good attraction towards the tag team division. Then we had the Street Profits, and then we had RK Bro. The match was real good. I kind of knew that was going to be a good match. Great opener. We seen at the end where Montez Ford was about to go for I think a frog splash on Matt Riddle. Not on Matt Riddle. It was actually on Chad Gable, I think. Don't get my mind's all mixed up and all over the place. But we seen Matt Riddle's. Yeah, I did have you. But Matt Riddle springboard and hit him with the RKO off the top to Montez Ford. But while Chad Gable was climbing to the top to jump on Riddle, Randy Orton caught him with the RKO off the top.
Yeah, that sounded like pretty intense. I'm going to have to go back and watch it when they do get a chance, probably tomorrow. And, of course, Lashley defeated Omos. That's not exactly how I expected that
before
to
go. Before we get to the Omos match, it was an after match with Gable Stevens. While they were celebrating, Gable Stevens decided to sit here and celebrate with the Street Profits and RK Bro. But then, Chad Gable decided to knock the water out of his hand and, try to teach him who's boss. But obviously, Gable Stevens could handle himself. So that was a little cameo that they gave to Gable Stevens. But before we get to the next match, do you think Gable Stevens is going to be the star of the future, or is he going to be kind of a fail that they did to Mark Henry a few years ago in 1996?
It's really hard to say because when you guys have crossover from different sports and stuff, it's really hard. Mark Henry struggled for a good 5 years before he became anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In WWE, he had a couple of really terrible gimmicks. It's really hard to say. You know what I mean? I'd like to see him succeed because I think that there is potential. But what are they looking for? The next Kurt Angle, Olympic pro wrestler, or Olympic wrestler turning pro? So
yeah, but the way the way they keep on continuously announcing him in the front row and doing his extra stuff, it shades of Kurt Angle in 1999 when they kept on saying he was the real athlete and all this other stuff, and then when he made his debut, he got booed. So I'm kind of thinking that Gable Stevens is getting set up for a heel turn or something, because he's getting announced too many times. And you know how the typical wrestling fan is, where they get tired of that.
Yes.
And then after a while, they were like, they're gonna boo him out the building.
We're gonna have to see, because it's very hard to say, because I think he's debuting tomorrow. Is he coming on tomorrow again?
He probably. I'm not surprised. They announce him every day.
Yeah, I think that's what they right. I think that's what they were talking about yesterday, that they were bringing him on again tomorrow. I mean, as well as Veer. Veer's coming tomorrow. Finally,
Veer
maybe.
is finally coming tomorrow.
Maybe.
Veer is coming. I can. Veer is coming. Veer is coming.
Talk about someone that's going to be booed out of the building.
Yo, he better not. After all this long time.
All right, talk about Lashley and Omos.
Yeah, Lashley and Omos. This was a throwback to like Hogan versus Andre a little bit, but Omos took control of the match. Throwing around Bobby Lashley, and then it was a hard spot with Omos with the bear hug on Bobby Lashley and push him in the corner. You see Bobby Lashley bumped his head on top of the turnbuckle, which was kind of crucial.
On top of
the rock. On top of the turnbuckle.
On the post?
On the post, yeah.
Oh, geez. He didn't split himself or anything like that?
Nah, he didn't, but he did hit his head hard. But you could tell like he was kind of like woozy throughout the end of it, but he ended up recovering. And then he hit him with the spear from the side to the back, and then he got up and did the mega spear where he ran across the rope 2 times and speared him for the win, and he beat Omos. But that was surprising, but I'm kind of glad.
Tian Couponer says, "Fear the Veer."
Fear the Veer.
All right, guys. I got to go back and watch that one too, because that was a match I was somewhat looking forward to.
It was a good match. It was nice and quick, but it was good.
All right, and this is when I walked in at the end of this match. Johnny Knoxville beat Sami Zayn, and I did see pictures of this online. What the hell was with the gigantic mouse trap and the gigantic hand? Please explain.
Oh man, this match. I kind of thought it would be match of the year candidate. Match of the year candidate. But it was so many cameos from Party Boy, stripping down, distracting Sami Zayn. And then, Knoxville, with the help of Wee Man doing his little cameo, and then slamming Sami Zayn. And then
I saw that.
Sami Zayn booting Wee Man. The hand, he's running, and the hand smacks him in the face. And then the ending, the big mouse trap, where they trap Sami Zayn for the pin. Johnny Knoxville taking the win throughout this match. This match was very entertaining. It was very entertaining. It was all the bells and whistles. What you talking?
Okay. What are my thoughts? It sounds like a disaster.
It was a disaster, but it was an entertaining disaster.
It's supposed to be WrestleMania. There's not. I don't know.
You know what?
To
this point, dude, WrestleMania is no longer the WrestleMania that we used to love.
Right.
It's just for entertainment now, and that's what it was, for entertainment. As we segue for later on for the Pat McAfee match.
We'll get into that very shortly, actually. But I got to say that Zayn is a complete professional if he went through with this and did not complain. And
yes, he is.
You know what I'm saying? And Sasha and Naomi won the tag titles?
Yes, they did. In a fatal 4-way against Natalya and Shayna Baszler, Zelina Vega and Carmella, and Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. It was actually, they gave them some great time. It was great, spots here and there. And Sasha Banks and Naomi come out becoming the brand new Women's Tag Team Championship champion. So, Sasha Banks, she kind of rekindled what she wanted. She lost it back in WrestleMania 35 when her and Bayley was tag team champions. They lost to the Iconics. So she regained it with Naomi. So it was a great celebration between those two.
This one went the complete opposite direction of what I thought that it was going to be. Edge defeated AJ Styles. Yeah, I thought.
I thought you were
No,
talking
no,
about
no.
the women's tag team match.
No, 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 I'm done talking about that. That I really,
All right.
it really didn't do much for me. Honestly, it really didn't do much for me.
It didn't
I
do
had
much because
trouble.
all the good women matches was yesterday.
Yeah, Edge defeated AJ Styles. I thought it was going to be the complete opposite. And what's with Damian Priest getting involved in distracting AJ Styles?
I don't know. I really enjoyed this. This match was kind of a little bit off a little bit. I kind of thought it would be real good. Maybe, AJ coming out the entrance with a cut on his cheek already. I don't know what happened before he got out into the.
I did read that he bumped his face on the WrestleMania sign coming out from backstage.
That's what I figured. I kind of figured he bumped his face somewhere. So, I'm glad he's all right. He ended up still brushing it off, doing a good contest with Edge, but Edge come out with the W. I said a distraction from Damian Priest. And I like the little mix up with these two, and looking forward to seeing Edge and Damian Priest together.
Yeah, that could be a very interesting combination. We got a comment here from T and Couponer. Let's show this here. Edge, Priest, and Ciampa for the new Brood. Edge is the leader. That could be very interesting because I did see online other people were speculating that there was going to be a new Brood with Edge. So, I'm
down.
Yeah, it could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Priest
give something for Edge to do.
Yeah, I mean the guy can't exactly have like bangers constantly. The guy's old and he's constantly getting injured.
That's kind of crucial.
All right. So the match that was supposed to happen last.
Rick.
What's that? Well, it is.
It's kind of crucial, Rick, about Edge. You gotta get Edge some slack.
What about? He does get injured quite frequently. He
always tore his tricep. What else did he injure?
And then he was out for what, 8 months or something like that, and then he was out again for something else.
I think that was like part of his contract to take time off. Yeah, at least give that.
All right, let me cut him some slack.
I understand where you're coming from. If we revisit the Edge run so far, it has not been good. The return that he did before the pandemic at that Rumble was very electric. Right. Between him having the hour match in the Performance Center at the Wrestlemania pandemic style, him having the greatest match ever with Randy Orton, and a few other, but there have been a few other matches that he had on TV that was kind of good with him and at the time Daniel Bryan. And Edge had his little odds and ends with Seth Rollins. He had a good feud with Seth Rollins. It just ain't working out like it used to. I think he's better as a heel, truthfully. He was never good as a babyface. He was always good as a heel. So he probably is going to rekindle and kind of reach us more with this new heel run that he got going on.
He was immensely popular at one time as a babyface, though, too.
Yeah, he was. But he was always better as a heel.
Yeah. Okay, so the match that was supposed to happen last night actually happened tonight. New Day lost to Sheamus and Ridge Holland, and they gave this like 2 minutes.
I knew it was going to happen. Soon the bell rang, I seen it was how fast it was going. I was like, this match is only going to be 2 minutes. It's unfortunate, but yeah, it was too. They just threw it out there, and I'm really like, I feel bad for New Day. I feel bad for Ridge Holland and Sheamus. And even Pete Dunne / Butch. I feel bad.
Looking like he's in that movie, The Newsies, the musical, with that hat. Xavier and Kofi came out wearing outfits in the tribute of Big E, wearing a singlet.
From his title win when he won the WWE Championship.
Right. So that was good. I just wish they would have given that more time. I guess they probably, I don't know what the hell they were thinking. And then, of course, man, I'm going to tell you, this last 2 matches, I kind of enjoyed the last 2. McAfee defeated Theory, which was a pretty damn good match. There was some really good spots in this match.
Listen, McAfee popping out the Frankensteiner. How right? You can,
yes.
backflip,
commentating on
springboarded to
his
the
own
top.
match.
Yes, in commentator's own match.
This was some good stuff. And then, of course, Mr. McMahon got involved and had a match with Pat
Yeah.
McAfee right away.
What you think about that? I really want your opinion on that because I was still sitting there watching like I
When he
was
took off
watching.
his,
I was kind of
I didn't think
cringy, but
it was definitely very cringeworthy, and it was just something for nostalgia and set up the next segment, really. So when he took off his suit and then he had the black Mr. McMahon tank top on, I was like, I just chuckled. I thought it was very nostalgic and laughable, so I enjoyed that. Obviously, and then McAfee sold for him like big time with the clotheslines,
yes,
and it's like from a 76-year-old man, they couldn't really be that hard,
he came and barely moved. You see McMahon,
Right.
you can tell he came barely moved, but Austin Theory still was covering up where he was pulling him between the posts and doing stuff
Yes.
here and there to make up for it, But at the end, Mr. McMahon pinned Pat McAfee, which all the rumors is kind of half true and true. He really did have a match with Mr. McMahon.
Did you see his arms though? For 76 years old, that dude is still, I guess, for lack of a better term, buff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That dude
he's
is
buff.
Yeah.
With a hunch, unfortunately, with a hunchback. I mean, his back is kind of like hunched a little bit.
He's
God
old.
bless
Give
him.
him a right.
He's getting old. I give him some slack, but he still looks good.
He's not getting old.
Right.
He is old.
Yeah, but we just gonna keep getting old, because that's it's unfortunate. That's life. But yeah, man, Mr. McMahon taking off the blazer, ripping off the shirt,
Yep.
doing some clotheslines. I don't know if they were stiff or what, but
No, I don't. I highly doubt it. Jonathan Sardi. Yeah, Sardi. Hello, how are you, my friend? Good to see you in the chat. And then, of course, obviously, you hear the glass break, and now comes Austin, and goes to drink a beer with Austin. Obviously, it was the worst stunner ever.
Austin Theory took the best stunner, and then Mr. McMahon took the worst stunner.
You thought people like Shawn Michaels or The Rock oversold the stunner? Holy crap. Austin Theory outdid those two dudes.
Yeah, listen, Austin Theory was made for this moment to take this stunner.
Did like some Peter Pan shit with his legs flipping around. I was like, what the hell is going on? I was dying.
And then Mr. McMahon took the worst stunner in the history of all stunners, where Austin is losing it live on
TV. He lost his footing twice. It was funny. Tien Cubano, do you think Austin has another match in him? I'd love to see it. From what I see, from what I've read, this was supposed to be the closing moment, of his career. He started in Dallas, left and wanted to finish in Dallas. Would I like to see it after last night? I'd love to see it because the guy proved that he can still do it. Like, I was very surprised at how really, really well that match was. I wouldn't be surprised if you did another match. I'd be all for it, but it has to be something that's really, really good, really worth it, really good. It's got to be a good opponent. You know what I'm saying? It has to make sense. It has to be the right opponent. And then sitting out there, dropping 24 beers. I'm all for that.
Listen, Austin looked like he had fun for the last two nights. And
yes,
since he had fun the last two nights, I had fun with him. It's good to see him happy. And, we didn't go in detail. We went in detail a little bit last night, but after, watching and rewatching last night's events, Austin, he had to get warmed up, man, with Kevin Owens. It took him like a few seconds. Then when he got warmed up, it was off and running, and he was down for the cause. And Austin, for the last two nights, it was his night. And I'm looking forward, if we don't see him again, like in a match, I'm always good to see a cameo from him every once in a blue moon to see him in action. He's one of those guys that transcend the whole wrestling world during an era where it was kind of a little bit dead between the 95 era, 96 era, and
Up until
he
about
just brought that
98.
attitude
Yeah.
in. Yeah,
Yep.
but around that era when he came in, it was like dead. Like it was like we got Dungeons of Doom and all this other stuff, and hockey players and all this other stuff. But he came in '96, and the attitude was there. Transition into the attitude era.
Yeah, man, he literally, like you said, he transcended the professional wrestling industry and just made it completely different. A lot of it, obviously, you can still feel some of that influence today, although a lot of people aren't getting away with some of the things that were said and done at that time.
Sure,
But you can definitely no, but the style is still there. You know what I mean? It's the content that's not necessarily still there. But yeah, I'd like to see it again if it made sense. Will we see him again? I'm sure we're definitely going to see him again. He's going to come out, pop some beers, and probably stun somebody. You know what I mean? Or host somebody. But as far as an actual match, it depends. It really have to make sense. But I wouldn't be against it if it made sense.
But tip the hat to Austin Theory, to the greatest taking the stunner of all time. And that was a great closeout for Austin with that best stunner and the worst stunner all in one night.
You see, I don't think McMahon was ever able to sell a stunner. Did you ever see the first one that he ever took? It looked like crap then too.
That was the worst thing. He was younger. I just don't understand. He just
this one, it looked like he lost his footing when he went to go grab him on the head, and then it just kind of bombed right from there.
Yeah.
He just
and then Austin was like, "Listen, you're gonna take this stunner. I don't even care.
Just,
you're gonna
just sell it. I know.
Just sell it.
I know it."
And Austin just looking at him like Austin's just literally losing it on TV. Like this dude really messed this up. But I'm glad he's well. He sold it. He looks he's 70-something years old. God bless him.
And of course, the main event of the evening, the title unification. If I can pronounce my words tonight, I'm doing better than last night though. Brock versus Roman. Of course, Roman won. Exactly how we expected. I thought there was a brief period where Brock almost had him, but obviously it didn't happen. But there was a split second there for and this was an entire match. What was it, 10 minutes, maybe a little bit over, of all finishers. They just kept doing the F5, the spears, and the Superman punches over and over for the most part.
Yeah, this is the main event for night 2 for WrestleMania 38. This is the main event that was at WrestleMania 31 and WrestleMania 34. And like I said, the story is there. Roman Reigns has never beaten Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. But tonight, he did what he said he was going to do and continue the 581-day reign as the Universal Champion. And, the match, I knew it was going to be 10 minutes. I was surprised. I got to watch WrestleMania 34 again. They went 15 minutes. I don't know how that happened. But tonight, they went 10 minutes. And it was a match, man. I mean, Roman Reigns continued to reign, and it makes sense for him to go over in this
match. Oh, hang on. Where did it go? It's supposed to be the biggest match of all time. They said.
Jonathan, I'm just going to tell you, dude. It's supposed to be, but it was never supposed to be the biggest match of all of WrestleMania. We done had a lot of biggest match of all time for the last 38 years of WrestleMania. There's no way that this match was the biggest match of all time. Not even in the modern era. It wasn't the biggest match.
To be truthfully, the crowd was really hot for this. It really was insane. The crowd popped huge for Brock when he came out. It was insane sound. The biggest WrestleMania match of all time, Hogan Andre. I don't think there's any doubt about it. Come on, argue.
I would say that is the biggest match of all time, but I mean, there was many different WrestleMania main events. I mean, I say Hogan and Warrior because that was a big deal. We had the WWE Championship and the Intercontinental Championship on
Right.
the line at the same time with two of the biggest stars at that time. And then you fast forward to, it wasn't a good match, but Austin and Michaels at WrestleMania 14, that was a big match, not as the performance, but of the situation, and just it's just so hard to sit there and say this is the greatest match of all time of all WrestleMania. There's been a lot of WrestleManias. You had Rock and Cena. Come on, you can't come if you had Hogan and Rock.
Hogan and Rock was definitely a gigantic one. Yeah,
it was gigantic one. So I'm just like, can I say this is? I know they don't really feel like this was the greatest match of all time. You got promoted for the fans or whatever, but
yeah. I mean, obviously, it's a lot of talk. Yes,
it's a lot of marketing, and I respect it, but it's not the greatest match of all time for WrestleMania.
So it was stupendous as well. It's very stupendous. One thing that I liked was that Michael Cole now basically put Roman in the same list as one of the longest reigning champions of all time. He mentioned that he was among the top 5 list with Pedro Morales, Bruno Sammartino, Bob Backlund, and of course Hulk Hogan. Yep. So Roman is up there, and I don't think that he's going to lose that belt anytime soon. Like you said, and I've said, it's going to be, I have a feeling it's going to be at least another year before he loses that, which is automatically, put him in another level with those gentlemen that were mentioned.
I really don't even think it's going to be another year, truthfully. If the rumors are true, if he's going to face The Rock at WrestleMania next year, I don't even think The Rock is going to beat him. So it's like the only people I can see that's actually beat him, like for real. And I mean, we used to say, okay, well, they got to reach for the new star to defeat Roman Reigns. But the only person I can see doing it is Cody. He's fresh. He can talk. He could make you get invested. But I don't think if they got Roman versus The Rock, I don't think they would string that along so long to have Cody versus Roman Reigns. You all right?
I don't know, man. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Cody defeating Roman. I don't know.
That would take a real good story for that to happen. So,
it would. It would. I just find it very interesting. I don't know.
We got T and Couponer. My prediction is Reigns will still be. Let me get this back up here. It popped on down for me.
Oh, hang on. Did it? Yeah. Oh, hang on. I tried to put it on the screen. Hang on.
Oh, there we go.
Yep. Is it up?
Until WrestleMania 39. Yeah.
Yep.
My prediction is Reigns will still be Universal Champion until WrestleMania 39. I think he will lose the WWE title. I don't know, man. I think now, I don't know. I think, and my apologies because I guess what I wasn't paying attention to as a unification match. It was a unification match. Rick was right the whole time. So I take back what I said. But I'm just wondering what they're going to do going forward with 2 titles.
Yeah, you're right. Are they going to develop a new belt in the coming weeks?
I hope they do. I can't stand those belts.
Those belts are ugly as fuck, but I can't imagine them bringing out anything that looks pretty.
Nah, listen. They redid the Intercontinental Championship. How you like the new Intercontinental Championship?
That's the one that came out within the last year.
Yeah. How you like that?
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
I like it too.
I've seen way worse. I've seen way worse belts that they've had. If you look at the original Intercontinental belt, that shit's ugly. The
Which
one with
one?
the green,
The
the one
Mr.
with the
Perfect
green.
one?
No. The one from the '80s with the green
Oh,
strap and
oh yeah,
yeah,
that was ugly.
it looks like a toy. It looks like a little belt buckle. So yeah, let's see if this comes up.
We got Jonathan. I can see the Seth storyline coming back. Yes, I can see that coming back as well. I think once he's done with Cody, he's not done with Cody yet. That was just a one-off. That's not just a one-off match. It's going to be a rematch again. And I can see that coming back in the future. The story is there. Even though he beat Seth at Madison Square Garden, which nobody saw except for Madison Square Garden. But the story is there. He has never beaten Seth Rollins. He can't beat Seth Rollins. And I kind of enjoyed that match at the Rumble, by the way, which was the best match of the night. And then it went downhill from there.
Yeah, the whole Rumble. Well, the women's Rumble wasn't that bad.
Oh, the women's Rumble was good, but between those two, it went downhill from there.
That was probably the only thing. And Seth came out in his Shield gear.
Yeah,
he was paying tribute. So I wouldn't mind seeing that again. I'm sure that'll come back at some point.
So I'm gonna ask the fans that are watching right now, what y'all think predictions for tomorrow Raw, the biggest Raw of the year? What you think, Rick? Obviously, Cody is making an appearance on there. He's on the Raw brand now.
I'm excited to see Veer.
I'm excited to see Veer too. I would rush all the way home from work, 90 miles per hour, just to see Veer. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna hit some animals and everything else just to come see Veer.
What else? Obviously, Cody's gonna come back tomorrow night. He's probably gonna, whether he competes or what have you, will probably come out and do a speech. I'm sure he's gonna open up the show. That's just my prediction. He's gonna come out, giving a thank you, welcome back, whatever, all that stuff. Speech, and I don't know what else. I don't think anything else has been announced as of yet for Raw, but I'm gonna have to keep out. I'm gonna have to keep an eye out. Usually I get emails from WWE.
Making an appearance.
I'm hoping that Asuka comes back because she's been cleared, and it's been like, and she's posting on social media again, which she was away from social media for a little while, but so. I'm hoping that she's finally going to appear because I miss Asuka. She's great.
Yeah, miss Asuka and Bayley. Bayley's great too. The Hill Bayley was great.
Yeah, I think she's a great character. So what else do we have? We got anything else?
We didn't mention this last night. Before we bounce out of here, Samoa Joe is all elite.
He is all elite. Obviously, we spent the weekend talking about WWE. I'd like to get to discussing Supercard of Honor at some point this week. If you've had a chance to watch it, I just have to watch the main event and then I'm done. So there's other events from the weekend that were just, there was so much wrestling this weekend. I told you I watched, I woke up at 7:00 yesterday morning and I was already burnt out by noon and I didn't even start Mania yet. So...
Hey, listen, my biggest mission, even though this weekend been busy full of wrestling and I wasn't part of it live, my biggest mission next year is to be in Hollywood to enjoy.
I asked my wife.
God-forsaken 2-night WrestleMania.
I literally asked my wife the other day. She said she was not fucking going to Hollywood to watch wrestling.
So she gave you an ultimatum.
Apparently, if I want to go, I'm going by myself.
Well, my wife did the reverse. She was like, she gave me that dead stare, like, we're going to WrestleMania. I said,
because she wants to go to Hollywood, right?
It's that, but listen, her first WrestleMania was WrestleMania 28 with Rock and Cena. So when I took her there, she was like, she couldn't believe her eyes how like great WrestleMania is. So now she want to go to WrestleMania. I got heat with the wife. We're not in Dallas right now, so I got heat with the wife right now.
Is she a wrestling fan at all?
No, she wasn't a wrestling fan when we first met, but now she's a wrestling fan, and she definitely became a wrestling fan when I took her to like WrestleMania. But I took her to the one in Dallas. The first time it was in Dallas, and we seen AJ Styles and Samoa Joe in a barbecue restaurant, so she freaked out. Yeah,
That's awesome.
A lot of WrestleMania stories going on around here, but yeah, my mission starting now is a countdown to WrestleMania Hollywood, Marcel Williams, some type of mission. Hopefully, I make it.
Make it a week vacation and just forget to tell her about Mania till you arrive.
That's funny.
She's gone to, I think, 2 wrestling events with me, and each time she just played on her phone.
Hey, you never know. You never know. Me and Rick may go down to WrestleMania. We meet up and do a show down there. My biggest mission as well is try to do Wale Mania. I want to go Wale Mania. There's a lot of stars in Wale Mania.
Yeah, I heard about that today, or maybe it was yesterday. What exactly is that?
That's actually Wale, the artist. He does a party full of all stars from all wrestling events. Like he had Jay Cargo this year. Carmelo Hayes. He had a lot of stars there this year. Sometimes you have Mark Henry, MVP. Shad Gaspar made an appearance.
Okay.
God bless him. Yeah,
I did see a video of that. I saw a video of that with Jade Cargo. Now I know what you're talking about. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that was the same thing. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, man. Big event. So TN couponer, shout out to him. Yeah, save that money. I feel you, dude. There's a lot of money to be put into WrestleMania. Hotel rooms, flights, rent-a-cars, 2-night WrestleManias that used to be 1 night, which I can't stand right now. So, yeah. And then you got to go to Monday Night Raw the next night. Then they got to slide in SmackDown on Friday. So, yeah, it's a lot of, it's a lot of stuff, a lot of money to be saved for this.
You got to buy them cheap seats.
Weekend. Listen, I try, but, I try. It's hard to see from cheap seats.
The last meeting I went to, 35, I had cheap seats and I couldn't see shit. I had to watch everything on the screen. So
and see, that what pisses me off, because if I buy a cheap seat and I gotta watch from the screen, why not just watch it at home?
Exactly, but I had the cheap seats when I went to Survivor Series last year, and I was able to actually see. The Barclays is not really that big of a building.
Yeah, it's small.
Yeah,
it's real small.
So. All right, I guess that's pretty much it. I want to talk. We're going to talk Super Card of Honor. Obviously, we're going to talk the rest of everything. Not everything that happened this weekend, obviously, because we can't watch everything. But because there was probably 30 shows, 40 shows this past weekend. But I do want to talk Super Card of Honor.
30 podcasts.
And 30, God knows how many. How many fucking shows did a Game Changer put on the whole weekend? Or associated the collective things. I mean, Jesus, that's just insane. So there is a lot of stuff coming up that I want to talk about this week. Obviously, we're going to be talking Raw, Dynamite, etc. And that's pretty much it. I got nothing else.
Well, we gonna close it out.
Yeah, we're gonna close it out.
Well, good night, people. Thank you for staying up, joining us for the PWZ podcast after WrestleMania Night 2. We'll be back later on this week to talk about Raw, the biggest Raw of the year. After WrestleMania, we're going to talk about some of Super Card of Honor for Ring of Honor. We're going to talk about some more news and just keep up with us, man. We're going to try to get on here as much as we can just to give you our opinions and cut some jokes and do what we need to do. And be well, be safe, good night. Enjoy the rest of your, well, it's not even the weekend no more. Enjoy your Monday morning.
Yes. We'll see you maybe later on today. Who knows? Have a great night, everybody.
Good night.